Just getting the questions. Jeez, it's hot.
Now it is. Was that one of the questions?
No.
Oh, it's like I had the best first answer. Oh man.
Yes. How are you? And how is the band holding up during this time?
Actually, we're pretty good. It's interesting. Like we really were able to take advantage of this unfortunate time, and we've been recording, and we've even played live. So I'd say not too shabby. We're keeping busy, and we're making the most of it.
How was the band name decided upon?
Oh my god, that's great. It was my brother and I before like even anybody else existed in the band, and we were like, the first thing before you make a band is you gotta have a really cool name, otherwise you can't find the other guys and put the whole thing together, right?
Well, we didn't exist yet.
Yeah. So we were like what's it gonna be? And Chad just was like, well, you know, we're into magic and everything, so he was like just starting to draw some different logos. And he started with like the word wicked, but he did it in such like a cool, like kind of metal-y rock and roll way. And I was like, don't change it. That's it. Like it has to be that. We're sticking with it. It was so perfect.
You guys have a new album in the making. Just tell me in a few words a little about it. Don't give out a lot.
I know, we don't want to let go of all the secrets. I'd say like it's got a very summery vibe, and it's got a little bit of an evolution of the band. So a lot of like the good grassroots, you know, wicked rock and roll, old school kind of rock and roll vibe, but you know we haven't lost that. But it's really got an upbeat kind of feel good summer-ish kind of attitude to it. So
It's like a party on the beach.
yeah, it's awesome. I mean,
years, yeah.
for all you who lost out on going to the beach during COVID season, you know.
Tell me about the style of the band. Why do you guys decide to dress the way you do?
Oh my god, it's purely because I've got like such a punk rock like root where I don't know, maybe it was something since I was a kid. I've always been a problem child. Like I had like even when I was like barely 1 year old, like they had to bring in a priest to do an exorcism on me. Like I'm always, yeah, it's like it's just I love black clothing, of course, like any other rock and roll goth vampire loving kind of rocker, but I just can't stand being like other people, and I feel like the band that's a big part of it. So it's like we did a bunch of stuff early on in black clothes, and we really look like kind of like Motley Crue, because we really like the whole entertainment, Alice Cooper like dress up kind of thing, but it wasn't satisfying me. And we had an opportunity to go to Rocklahoma Festival, and we did that 2 years, and we had the second year gone in white clothing, and it was just such a difference because you stand out, and people are like, every other band's in black, all the specs drops are black, and everybody's blending in, and then you just come in, and it's just like such like a punch in the face, like, you know, kind of like a fuck you, like, you know, we're opposite of everybody and just doing our own thing, and I think that's why we do what we do, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. It's a good shock value.
So you guys have something called the Wicked Glam Cast. Tell me a bit about that.
Oh man, it's so fun.
And how
It's
did
like-
it get started?
It's like, well, we were going into kind of the COVID era, if you will, and we were like, we want to stay connected with our fans and give them kind of a way to be there with us, even though we can't be at shows, because
Right.
that's the greatest thing, is playing live for us is the best thing, and then after a show, going out and taking photos with the fans and hanging out with them and talking, and being able to kind of have that connection in the music community. So we said, you know what, let's just do a podcast where it's not really serious, but it's just like if you were hanging out with the boys in the band drinking and just shooting the shit, that's the Glam Cast, you know? And we just crack jokes. They're probably not too funny, maybe sometimes. And we just kind of look like, you know, goofballs. Yeah. It's just wicked rock and roll. There's no one trying to be anything. It's just us hanging. And it's a good time. And the four of us live together. So it's a rare thing for a band to live together. I mean, we've lived together for like
7 years.
Almost 8 years. So it's almost been a decade, and we're really like a family, and it's never a dull moment for sure.
That's awesome. You guys recently did a live performance. How was that experience getting back on stage?
Oh my God. Oh, it was
Great.
Honestly, I was nervous. I was nervous going into it because I was like, you know, is anybody come out? Are they going to be kind of afraid to? And
Right, 'cause you don't know at this point in time.
we knew there would be like there was a lot of rules, which is good. Like, you know, the club that we played at was an outdoor venue, and they did a very good job to follow all the New York State rules. But, you know, of course, that brings some like damper on the mood, having to wear a mask unless you're sitting, and being at an assigned seat and not standing up, you know, because we're used to like crowds that are like right up against the stage and, you know, cheering and like hands in the air, and, you know, who's like reaching behind them to like have that human connection through music, and like, you know, grab somebody's hand or kiss them, or, you know, just mix it up. But like, so we knew that, but the show was awesome. It was a lot of fans that came from a lot of different areas in New York, and they were able to come outside on a nice sunny day and see live music again, and they were excited. And we had like a running joke at the show. It's like, it's all right, like, even though you're sitting down, you can still get down, like, just like have a good time. And it was actually really cool because,
I mean, it should be a thing. I mean, like, it's worth it, all the extra effort.
But it was weird because I think people listened to the songs, and we played a lot of new songs that are going to be on the upcoming album to kind of like test them.
Okay.
And they listened more sitting down. It was a weird thing. Like, they were focused, and like the applause was just so exciting. It was like, oh my God, like, you know, because sometimes you lose people in the moment, you know?
A lot more focused when people are going to the bar back and forth, and, you know.
It was really cool, and we had a blast, and it was like getting right back into it. The adrenaline was there, being on the stage. It was like 95 degrees, so we were sweating like dogs up there. It was awesome.
What's the best show you've done in your career so far? And this goes for both of you.
The best show, it's a tough one because I have a couple of memories. A really recent one in New York City, which was really cool. New York City's always amazing, and there was 3 shows in New York City, so it kind of felt like one big show. But that was Knitting Factory. Where else were we?
We could go way back to our very first one where we played the...
That was exciting. The crowd was really cool, really, really intense. But then, like, we also had some New York City shows with Crash Diet back several years ago at Webster Hall, and that was really fun. It was like, the thing about the New York City shows is there was, and there still kind of is, a community of rock and rollers. It's kind of like what you would think of as like in the 80s on the Sunset Strip in LA, but in New York. And New York's always more kind of like down in the nitty gritty and tough and mean and dirtier. And it's just, you know, you got that streetwise kind of thing. And so I love New York. I love the New York rock scene. I love the New York people. We're a New York band. I mean, no mistake. We're not, you know, we're not the glam band that is in LA. There's a complete difference. You know, we really have like a street sensibility. But back to the question is, like, those New York shows between the Crash Diet and the recent ones in the city and Brooklyn, like, those were really good. But going back to Rocklahoma, that was what really propelled our career. Like, back at the beginning of the band. We did a couple of years of that, and it was
from that, yeah.
it was
So many
great. I
people
mean,
there, yeah.
just the immense amount of people. You know, it's fun. You get to get into an RV and you drive 22 hours south, right? So all the stories of all the gas stations and restaurants and, you know, hoopla that goes on in the RV. And then you get there and there's 30,000 plus people. And, you know, you got Guns N' Roses on the main stage and all these bands. And it's cool. Like, we go to the press tent and there's, like, Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm sitting right next to us doing press with somebody else, you know? And everybody's really cool, and you see the quirky things like Axl Rose on, like, the main stage. We were side stage, and he had, like, a little tent, and he just, like you go camping, like a 1-2 person tent, and he would just zip himself up in it and kind of unzip it a little and say, I need some whiskey, and, like, reach out for it, and it was just the most bizarre thing.
Come out and get the t-shirt.
But we were young then, and we were new, and, like, you go out and you play your original songs to this big crowd, like a sea of people, and they don't care. They love original music, and they catch on, and they're like, you know, like an old song that might come out soon, Hot Stage Lights, and it's like people are just singing along with the chorus, you know? So those moments really stick with me, I think.
That's beautiful, guys. By whom are you both musically influenced by?
Oh man, I think it's a cool the way to really represent that question in an interview for Wicked is
Well, everybody's got their own thing. Like
everybody's got their own thing.
Everybody brings something to the table.
Scotty has more of that bluesy Aerosmith.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was all Aerosmith for me growing up. Like that was the first band that got me into it. The like early '70s stuff,
Yeah.
the real dirty, like
and
psychedelic kind of.
And Gunner's
thing.
a metalhead. I mean, Gunner likes Wednesday 13 and like,
yep.
you know, you name it. Like,
It's a lot of tone him back. Be like, not
yeah.
too heavy. Come on.
Yeah, so
bring it back.
yeah, so he brings a really cool element from his influence. I'm kind of a punk guy, but me and Chad, my brother, like we have this thing where like we love Alice Cooper and David Bowie and the 70s bands as much as the next person. And those are very, very strong and to the core of our influences. But, you know, we grew up and there was a really cool thing in Europe, which was kind of like the sleaze, like rock scene, like Crash Diet and Hardcore Superstar. And we took on to that. But we're really big also like fans of other music, like more like pop rock, like Third Eye Blind or Matchbox 20. And like all these different elements really kind of blend, and I feel like it breaks you out of that box of, you know, just your ordinary rock band or glam band or heavy metal band, because you have this diversity and you're able to bring all that together, and in a sense like a motley group, like, you know, we then become something different. So it's cool. I mean, yeah, we like good music. Like I like a little bit of a palate cleanser. It's a good way to influence yourself. Like right now I'm kind of like, I'm like, man, I wish I was on a beach and we could actually go somewhere, you know? And I'm like, you know, I'm listening a little bit like some Kygo and Whitney Houston, you know, some summery kind of vibes, you know, and you know, maybe a little bit of Chainsmokers and stuff like that. So, or 1975. So it's, you know, you got to fit your mood, and, you know, you got to bring in different things. That's the Wicked way. And then when it all comes together and it influences you or gives you like a vibe to like, you know, kind of do our own art, it then blends like a mood into like what we're doing, and we just write a whole cool new twist to like Wicked Rock and Roll. So it's pretty cool. There's no rules in Wicked. Just rock at the end of the day and have fun.
Awesome. This question goes to both of you. If you weren't a musician, what would you be doing instead?
Oh man. Well,
I would travel. I don't know, some kind of like. I think I'd be like an archaeologist. I like stuff like that, like
Nice.
like weird ancient history stuff like that. So like I would go
Well, right now, we all have our day jobs, and I am like an engineer. I like design like packaging, but if I wasn't a musician, I would not be doing that, like at all. I would probably, I would probably be like, I would just go to like a beach in Southern California, most likely, right? Or maybe in Argentina. I don't know. And I would be like a cabana boy, like so not really worried about money, but to make ends meet, I would like go and get like beautiful women, like coconut drinks, or like fan them, and just kind of live there, let my hair, my beard grow, be one with the sun and the sand and the ocean.
So basically, if it wasn't for the band, you wouldn't do anything.
Do you guys have any plans of any upcoming tour?
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. We haven't completely announced it, but it's cool to announce it here, and say that this September we were supposed to go to Europe, but everything, like a lot of other things in the music industry, has just pushed like literally one full cycle to 2021. And so we're really excited, and we will be announcing it very soon. It is official. We're going to Europe. We're going to hit Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, a few other places, and there's some outdoor festivals, there's some club dates, and it's going to be our first time on European soil, and it's going to be a really great time. So we're super excited.
2020 is slowly coming to an end. What can we expect from Wicked Rock and Roll?
You've alluded to it. I mean, there's a new album coming out, or albums. It's gonna be exciting. I mean, we're working hard right now. We're still in the trenches. The music is recorded, and we worked with an amazing producer, a life-changing event for us. Nacho Molino. He's traditionally from Panama, but he's moved to Brooklyn. So musicians out there, I'm telling you right now, you can hold on, you can wait and see, but when you hear the album, you're gonna see it's worth it. This guy's great. I mean, you could hear that he's got 5 Grammys, and you could look at his accolades, but he is just a young, talented, really nice guy, and he knows what he's doing. I mean, he was the recording engineer, the mixing engineer, and the producer for this album, or albums, and we're really excited about it. We're going to do more work with him. So going into the end of the year, we're planning on doing more recording. We have more music, another album's worth at least. And we want to take advantage of that time with the whole COVID thing going on. But we're going to be releasing stuff in the meantime. We're working on doing like photo, video, and all that good stuff, artwork. So yeah, it's going to be there. It's going to be this whole new push of new content, new material. We've got new merch that's already out. If you go to WickedRocknRollOfficial.com or ManicMerch/WickedRocknRoll, you can find it there. You can see it at shows. We're just really trying to stay engaged with the most important thing to us, which is our fans, and trying to have fun doing what we love to do. So,
And I mean, we post a lot of content on all social media.
yeah.
I mean, it's all Wicked Rock and Roll.
There'll be more Glam Casts. There'll be more, of course, your Instagram, Twitter.
We just started a TikTok.
Yeah, Scotty's the TikTok guy.
Yeah, we just started that, so we're going to start
look out for that.
Some more down to earth. You can kind of see what we do day to day. It's kind of like little mini.
If it doesn't get
Glam
banned.
I would expect that it's a little too late to join that.
No, but maybe just in time. Maybe this will change the whole happening curve of it. You never know.
What happens when you tell Americans they can't do something? They do it more.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you guys.
Incredible. Thank you.
Of course. How do I stop this recording? I know nothing about this.
Leave this part in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is there anything else you want to say?
We miss you.
Ah,
And we're jealous you got to hang out with Nacho. We miss him too.
Incredible. Incredible. He's helping me with a song that I'm doing. It's a surprise. It's very different also.
I'm so excited.
And his little girl is so cute.
Maria Paola, she's a little dynamite firecracker. She was up at the house with us while we were recording for a couple of weeks on end, and she's amazing. I mean, she's so cute, but she's great. She doesn't stop. Her energy is like 110% all the time. Like,
she was like mimicking me as I was taking photos. I'm like, you are adorable. So I take you home. All right. Anything else you want to tell the EP family?
Yeah, just stay connected.
All of our social media. It's all at Wicked Rock and Roll for everything. So
yeah, and we really appreciate it. We love your online magazine, and guys, go check it out. It's good. We got to keep the music scene going, and it's things like this that are so important for that. And you got to band together, and the most important thing is a scene. It doesn't really matter like what your music's like. It's just about being a music supporter, and especially us New Yorkers. I mean, come on, like.
When are you guys coming to New York?
Dude, because you're doing a photo shoot and video shoot with us. You don't know it yet.
I am? What?
Look at her. We'll talk.
You do that to me, I'm coming.
Leave that in too.
Yeah.
Around, let me know.
Yeah, support your friends, support the music scene, and this is what it's all about. It's a network,
All right. I don't know what else to say.
Rock and roll, thanks.